Welcome to Honest Combos with Karen
and Marcia. We're longtime biz besties bringing you along for the journey of building a business and life you actually want.
No fluff, no filters, just honest conversations about the highs, the lows, and everything in between.
So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's get into it.
All right, welcome back to Honest Combos with Karen and Marcia. And today's episode, we are going to talk all about community, the power of community. It's one of the topics that both Marcia and I really have a lot of passion around. Just like, you don't need to do this alone. I think we talked about that maybe in the Power of Connection episode. Like, you're not by yourself, even though you might feel like that. And so we want to talk today about really how community can be a crucial ingredient in your success. So, Marcia, where should we start?
Karen and I got our start when we were part of FemWorking, which was like a networking group of women entrepreneurs. And that's where we first met. And then from there, I had the Charm Cardinal Society, and Karen was like a founding member of that. And we've been in multiple communities together. Like you said, it's such a critical ingredient to just fast track your success and to recognize that you're not alone. I'm super excited to share that during this process, I had the idea that I'm a community builder, and it's funny, in one of the episodes I was like, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do when I grow up. And it's like, I love the branding and operations. I love the mindset stuff, but like, I believe that I'm a community builder. And so Karen and I are going to be officially partnering up and launching the Success Secret Society. And we've already put a feeler out for Charm Cardinals Society members who attended a reunion that we recently had. So we sent out like a feeler and just said, look, this is what we're looking to do. This new community is going to be different than the Charm Cardinals because it's not going to be focused on just in-person meetups, reconnecting with yourself. It's called the Success Secret Society. And so it's all about focusing on what success is to you. Everybody has a different definition of how they would succeed ultimately as a person. And, with society, you can believe that the only way to be successful is to have the perfect marriage and the perfect kids and the perfect house and what it all looks like from the outside. But each of us has different things that are going to make us feel fulfilled and actually, I think, accomplish like what we're here and meant to do as people. So this group is going to be like a support group so that you can share the successes that you have. You can share what your aspirations are. It'll be virtual. It'll be global. We're going to start out regional, probably. I'm so excited because with Karen, I did have the business partner for her hideaways, and I love the guy. I still manage his Airbnbs, but the partnership, he and I were too similar, but with Karen, she's been there from the start with everything I've ever done. And besides this podcast, and some of the workshops that we have put on together, we haven't formally partnered up with anything. But with this new society, I was like, Karen, this is what I'm thinking of. And I would love to know, because I want you to do the systems and everything. And I was like, I can hire you or we can partner together on this. She took some time and then she's like, yeah, I'm into it. And I'm like, into what?
Yeah, I was like all in.
Yeah.
Because I love the idea of having a community, and you are 100% a community builder, like no doubt. And creating a space where people can really show up and be like yourself. You don't have to put a mask on. You don't have to put lipstick on a pig. The pig can be a pig. Like if you had a crappy day or a crappy client or a crappy month, or like you can like not sit in it. We're not gonna let you stay there, but that is stuff that you have to work through. If you just keep trying to band-aid over it, it just keeps festering. And like we want to create a space where people can really show up as themselves, really share and talk through the tools that we're using to create the success that we want. And like really just have like a group that you can be real with. They're going to be real with you because we're going to hold you accountable. Okay, we're going to ask about that thing you said you was going to do last month. Yes. I mean, we're not going to let you sit and stew in your excuses. Okay, let's just be honest. Sometimes they're just plain old excuses. So, if that sounds exciting to you, if you're like, okay, I mean, it might be a little rough at first, but I promise you'll love it. You'll love us in the end. If that sounds good to you, definitely, we'll be talking more about it and we'll be sharing all the details on how you can, get in on the action. Because it's just when you're a solo entrepreneur, it really is an isolating experience. And you feel like everything that you're going through is personal. It's all like, I am the reason this didn't work, or I don't know enough, or, I didn't do the right thing or the right way. I mean, you really internalize a lot of that. And so having a community of people that are in a similar place, they're going through similar things, and being able to say, oh no, I had that experience and this is what worked for me. That, I mean, I can't tell you how much of a game changer that can be for your business. So I'm really excited to create this safe space, not a performative space. Again, no lipstick on the pigs. The pigs are just gonna be pigs. But we're not gonna stew in that space. We're always gonna want to focus on like what is the way that we can move forward and actually build what you want to have, the business that you want. Whatever that looks like. It's gonna be different from for everybody.
Yeah, the business and the life that you want, because,
Yes.
like if your business is supporting your life, then we want to define what that looks like for you. I just think that whenever you're in community with other people and whenever you're able to speak freely and feel seen and heard, then you're able to, like, you're just speaking free flow, and it's illuminating. Like, it shows you what actually matters to you. And with entrepreneurs and business owners, like we're constantly working on the next thing. It's a dopamine thing. Like we're just trying to get our next hit, but like we're constantly building and we're constantly growing. And whenever we're in those areas of growth and we feel vulnerable or we feel uncomfortable, like that's when the people come in and they say like, "Hey, you've done something similar to this." Like building this community, like yeah, it's exciting and it's unnerving and like, I currently have stress sweat happening under my arms. It is a new iteration of it. Karen can be like, "Hey, you've already done this. Like, why don't we incorporate some of these things that we know were successful in the past?" So, whenever you have a community of other people, like nobody is going, we don't all have our pigs with lipsticks on at the same time, like we're all going through different phases at different times. And that's where the support comes in because, you might be having the best week of your life. You just got signed on to be a speaker somewhere, you closed a contract, like whatever, like, and then you're going to be like way up here and you're going to be able to remind other people, like, your time's coming, and then their time might be there and you might be at the bottom of the barrel like, oh shit, like things are just so tough right now. It's so hard. Perimenopause is so hard. Anyway.
Yeah, no. I love that too, like what you just said, because I really envision it having like a strong supportive energy, not competitive energy, like it's going to be very much like, or we're going to cultivate very much like a supportive energy where it's all about like together helping you get back on track, celebrating your wins. Again, pulling you out of the stew if you're, kind of ruminating on losses. Just that real support is that, yeah, I can't even say enough. It's amazing.
I think, when you are a successful person, like we all kind of know it, like we might not feel successful all the time, but like on paper, it shows that we're successful. Sometimes it's hard to find people that you can lean on because you're usually the support system for other people. So that's the point of being in a community, is that you're all peers, you know? Like if you know, if you're the big sister, the oldest sister, the firstborn, it might be where everybody just leans on you. Thanks again for tuning into this episode.
Don't forget to check the show notes for any downloadables and resources from this episode.
And also ways to connect with both of us.
Now, back to the convo.
And it's funny because I was talking to Roger, my previous business partner, and he's like, well, what's going to make this different than before? And I was like, well, I've learned so much. Like when I built that community, like that's when I started learning about boundaries and about accessibility and about charging, even though last episode was all about like undercharging and whatever. But like now I'm going into this, Karen and I are going into this knowing like, okay, we're leading this group. Like, whereas before with Charm Cardinals, it was like I was building something that I needed at that time. And so I didn't have the confidence because I was building it as I went. But now it's like it's a freaking decade later. We had Charm Cardinals from 2015 to 2019, which is insane to me. It was 4 years. And it's funny because like when it closed, I was like, oh, you know, I failed. And it's like, no, it was freaking 4 years. Like how like things don't have to go on for eternity. You know, I told Roger, I was like, I'm different now. I have the tools. I've had all of the experiences. I had the like people, you know, all the members had access to my cell phone number and they were texting me. And like now it's like I can be like, here's my calendar link, book a consult. Back then I was like, I felt like I owed it to them because like I don't know, just that's just how I felt. But now it's like, no, you know, I know, and I'm not gonna let my insecurity about my capacity to be able to lead, like I'm not going to let that prevent me from doing this because right now we do need this. We need the community. We all need to be determining what our success is, and we need to be living in that more than we are living in the darkness, because we need to be bringing forth what needs to be in the US right now. Basically, that's
Yeah. No, and I like how you put that because it really is like helping you show up and stay in the energy that you want to be in so that when you're doing things, you're coming from the right place. You're really like this is gonna work versus, I mean, I'll try it, but probably gonna fail like last time. Like keeping your mindset in that place, having that supportive community to kind of bounce ideas off of, to be like, does this make sense? I mean, that is priceless because you are never going to have it all figured out, right? I don't know which episode, but I know we talked about like the continuous journey. It's just always like you're going to change and grow. And so your needs and your experiences and the things you're trying change and grow. I mean, so it's always happening. Like it's never, there is no magical arrival that happens in business. Like you're not gonna be like, I'm here now, done. Like, so it's like that's why having a peer community, like I like how you put that too, like having a good supportive peer community is crucial because it helps you to have strength when you don't have it yourself. And like you said, when you're the one that a lot of other people lean on, it can be draining. And so where do you get your cup filled? Where do you lean on someone else? So having that group to commune with and be in community with. And again, not like the performative version of community. It's not show up and network, give us your elevator speech, trade cards. Maybe you work with this person, maybe you do. No, we're not doing all of that. Like it is like a real place to just be connected to people doing similar things, striving towards similar goals, building the life and business that works for them. Like that is the kind of environment that we're looking to create. And it is going to be very much the feel like a podcast. Like, I don't know if we should tell you this, but there are not like scripts, or and maybe you already figured that out, but like we are not like sitting here reading bullet points, and like this is just what's popping into Karen and Marsha's head at the moment. Like, we're gonna talk about community. Okay, cool. Like, and again, maybe you didn't want to know all that, but it's just that we're real. We show up real. We just talk honestly. It's literally in the name of the podcast, right? And the point is that you're here with us. This is just who we are. We don't have time to be fake or try to put on, a performance for you. We just want to have an honest conversation. And so the community will have very much that same backbone, that same feel.
Yeah, I'm very excited because it's like bringing people into the conversation. And yeah, because like the feedback that I've gotten already from us relaunching, they're like, it really is just like, I'm there with you. I'm just sitting there listening to the two of you, but like at a table, drinking coffee together or whatever. I'm so excited to build this with you, Karen. And I love that you said like we're creating this community. The creation process is so fun because you're just you're building something, and like who knows what's going to come of it. And I do think there will be like collaborations. There's going to be people that click with each other. And so like I have some ideas like about having like support squads. So like I think the format that we've discussed, and like don't quote us on any of this because like we've had some strategy sessions, but it's been more like just making sure that we're both committed to it. It'll be primarily virtual. We will have some workshops in the DC area, which is where we're from. So I'm thinking like quarterly workshops where we can be hyper focused on certain things, and then retreats Thursday through Sunday because Friday to Sunday just doesn't work. So have a retreat, but also you'll have access directly to Karen and me, and then also the other members. And then I was thinking like moving forward, we could have like support squads where it's like people, like groups of 3 to 5. We can do like a matchmaking service for you, maybe co-working, that kind of thing. But basically like having this support group so that whenever you do feel like you're isolated and you're out on your own and you're knocking on doors and getting deals and doing all of that, it's like I'm going to be able to share this with my friends, like it's awesome. And it's like knowing that you have all of these people who are cheering you on silently. Like, yeah, it's community is the best and it's so needed right now.
So if that all sounds like hell yeah, I'm in, definitely stay tuned. We'll be sharing. You will not miss it when it's available for you to join us. And not that I want to steer you any other direction, but whether it's this community or another one, just find your people. That's what I would want to leave you with. Like, just find your people, build your success squad or join ours, and build with us. But either way, just don't go it alone because it's not as much fun. It's not as much fun that way. Hey friend, loving this combo?
Then don't keep it to yourself.
Hit that follow button so you never miss an episode. And if you're feeling extra generous,
leave us a quick review. It helps more women find the show, and it honestly means the world to us.
And we really want to connect beyond the podcast. So come say hi on social.